Christina, welcome to The Void. We are here at Frankie's Pizza in Sydney with Sam Dillon of Low. Seeing you guys live is a real experience because I think the greatest thing about extreme music is when it's surprising. And I like the way Low is very cinematic and strange and exciting. And the way you perform, which is interesting because I know you have an interest in reptiles, you have a reptilian style of performing. Like lizards have like eyes that move differently and they see stuff differently and they have completely different senses. Like, are you a lizard?
Yes, I would say I would be. Like, not in some sort of cult. Yeah, no. I'm not working for the third eye or anything like that. It's more just I never got over seeing Jurassic Park when I was a child.
Oh my fucking God, fucking dinosaurs, holy shit, what the fuck?
I would study that kitchen scene with the velociraptors until the tape would burn out, and I didn't even listen to music at all until I was about maybe 13, because I spent all my childhood just looking for snakes and lizards under rocks. And it was only when I was in high school that I saw a film clip of Marilyn Manson and Nine Inch Nails and Ministry and stuff performing, and it was all those Tim Burton-esque gothic stuff rolled into one. Very theatrical, very morbid performances that were rooted in anthems. Being able to punch your fist in the air and get your anger out, and that really appeals to a child that has a big imagination and is alienated.
The great thing about what you do is, like, if the riff is fucking strong enough and the swing is big enough, because the drums are hella swingy, you can fucking stab like a stake into someone's heart and they're smiling. If like the riff is fucking sexy enough.
We've noticed we're touring overseas with through all these non-English speaking countries that it's a very primal, very Neanderthal thing to want to engage with the riff. We know that it's always centered around the riff, the power of the riff. You need to have, especially in that sludge genre, we want to bring more of a live viciousness and rawness to what we're doing.
Sludge is the best genre, and it's the only genre word I like because I feel every other one is lazy. Sludge is so fucking cool because like vestigial sludge, like it's like it's from a waterway and it's like it's viscous and it could be so many different things. I think it's the greatest word ever. Like
moose.
There is, I think, a golden age of music videos, which is like the post-MTV era, the YouTube era.
It's that ability to have access to the technology to be able to do what's in people's heads. I can't wait to keep working with people that want to give us banging film clips. Get it out.
Fuck yeah.
The Orca film clip, we often get asked, will we be bringing the vat of goo for that show that night?
Would you like to?
No. The goo itself smells like feet and bad dreams.
What are 5 songs that have changed your life?
I think my funeral song would have to be Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer.
Sick.
Just because I love the sexual innuendo of it, because I am quite crass in my day-to-day life.
You're a monster, really, aren't you?
And you know, how good's sex?
Yeah.
So it's you gotta be truthful.
Gabriel's your sex.
Yeah. I really, really like Filth Pig by Ministry. I've always loved that song. I just love...
How good is it?
I love his bacon frying in piss vocals that he really does. It's that really disgusting voice that only a person that lived a life like that would have.
It's like you need a shower after listening to Ministry.
Gross. It's like coffee grinds in your teeth listening to it. Pretty much every song off Pink Floyd's The Wall. I just think that entire thing is flawless. And then I really like Pony by Genuine.
Okay, this is a whole fucking thread. We're not getting out of this. This is interesting. So that's interesting. So did you have like a porn sex funk kind of experience as well? Because all the stuff we've spoken about hasn't really exposed that they're, like that kind of music. Like the expression, the sex, drugs and rock and roll. Yeah. Was music a big part of that development?
Oh, I think it's just that expression, that visceralness, that grossness, that taboo-ness that comes with everything to do with your body and expressing yourself. And, it's very egotistical thing. It's very self-fulfilling.
You're a fucking lead singer,
To get up there, you have to believe in what you're doing. Like, otherwise, why would you be up there as a sweaty Christ figure getting covered in goop every night?
It is actually, so it's a sexual experience really with the room.
I would say doing a perfect gig is up there with a pretty decent orgasm. Yeah.
But it is kind of, it does bring people down to their baser things, especially extreme.
A very primitive like spike inside you. Carl is the backbone of the whole band when it comes to, he does everything like the writing and stuff, and it's very humbling and very exciting to be around people that can create stuff that you just can't wait to sink your teeth into.
That's awesome. It's like ballroom dancing or ice skating.
Very exciting being able to come up with a little riff in your bedroom or write a lyric on the back of a napkin, and then 4 months later have it recorded, have it mastered, and then you go out on the road to another country where they might not speak any English at all, but then have someone scream those very words from the napkin back at you and heads to the riff. So that's a fantastic world.
That's one of the things I love the most about your last album is it's so cinematic. It's like, and you never know what's going to happen next. Like there's moments I was listening to it before, I'm like, wow, this happened. Da-da! There's like mad jazz hands. There's definite jazz hand moments where you like go around a corner and something wild happens.
I like to always have more like a screaming preacher at the edge of the pulpit. The very commanding Pink Floyd's The Wall, Nine Inch Nails Are Fragile, this very, this one being, this one, anti-hero, this one, anti-Christ, whatever you want, to embody all these things that are wrong and push them into the forefront. I love that kind of narrative that you can spin.
What's the story of one of the songs on the last album and like how the lyrical story came to be?
Due to Steer, I was listening to a podcast about Galapagos Island, of all things, and the fact that it was overrun with goats. And the way that the very novel way of them controlling the goat population is that this Texas ranchers would often have the due to steer policy where you train one of your livestock to follow the lead to go to a slaughterhouse, so it would be able to lead the rest of the herd willingly to their deaths. That's a great metaphor for what's going on in politics and stuff.
Oh my God.
In that you have someone that seems the part, that is very two-faced underneath and is able to lead us all to our demise willingly. When you were touching upon these like hardships that humanity goes through, and it seems to repeatedly go through, you always can notice that when something really awful, really atrocious is happening in society, you will always have that screaming minority of creative minds that come out of the ash as a rebellion against it. So you could probably go back in history and find that for every awful action, there is a massive positive in the expression.
Reaganism, punk rock.
Of course. There's so much worthwhile music coming out at the moment. The scene is very strong. People are releasing great records like Yulva, High Tension. They're all coming straight into their golden era right now. So I'm very happy to see people I call friends just come through the ranks and keep going.
People talk a lot about the struggle of being in an Australian band and how hard it is. What's the most wonderful part?
I guess the ability that, sure, you might have to struggle more to find your audience and travel longer distances, but we live in a very lucky country.
It's pretty good.
I'm not going to freeze to death walking home tonight. I don't have to worry about living on the street. I don't have a country ravaged by war. I'm not worried about nuclear arms hidden somewhere. It's a pretty lovely, easygoing place, and for people to complain about it too much, you really should just go out there and see what is really on offer in the world, because you will be very humbled and very patriotic very quickly.